Kelly with IfYouHaveAnEgg.com, and we are back in the KC Kitchen Center to make hopefully the last of my quarantine snacks. We are planning on reopening the showroom, under limited conditions on Tuesday, May the 5th. But everybody has been asking about the Jell-O cups that we talked about probably 3 weeks ago on the live chat. So I wanted to show you how to make them. We are going to start with just normal little fruit cups. They're just fruit cups. Now this is something that my mom used to make for us when we were little. She would make it in a whole pan. We're gonna do individual little fruit cups because I need to be able to make them here in the showroom and to be able to consume them here in the showroom. So these are no sugar added. You can get light fruit cups, no sugar added. There's a couple of different, versions you can get if you're Weight Watchering. If you're on Weight Watchers, you're going to want to do this for the lowest points because these are 0 points since they have no sugar added. You can go ahead and scan that with your WW app with your eTools. And I'm going to use sugar-free Jell-O, again, just because we're on Weight Watchers. If you're doing this for your kids, so if your kids have already been home from school for over a month, and if you're looking for some cool things for them to do or to eat, then you do not have to use sugar-free ingredients. But for Weight Watchers, for these to be 0 points, these do need to be sugar-free, no sugar added. Fruit cups, go ahead and scan them just to make sure that what you have chosen is 0 points. And then the amount of Jell-O, the sugar-free Jell-O that you're going to use is also sugar-free. But this will work for non-sugar-free. So I've gone ahead, I only have 5 of them left here in the showroom, so we're just going to do 5 today. But I've gone ahead and peeled back the top partially. Use the top to go ahead and drain them. They all do need to be drained, so you need to drain the liquid off of them first. And you're only going to make the Jell-O to half of the instructions on the box. Even though you just drained this, there's still a lot of liquid left in this fruit, so we're going to do it at half. So the instructions on this smaller box of sugar-free Jell-O says to do 1 cup of boiling water and then 1 cup of cold water. So we're going to do a half a cup and a half a cup. So the fruit cups are already opened. They are drained. Still a lot of liquid, even drained. We're going to open the thing of sugar-free Jell-O and just pour it into any kind of a mixing container. I'm just going to use a little mixing cup, A, so that I can measure how much hot water I'm putting in here, and B, I can see what I'm doing. And it has a little spout for pouring. So we do not have a stovetop here at KC Kitchen Center, believe it or not. So I just used a tea pitcher. You can get these on Amazon. I used a tea pitcher to go ahead and boil some water. And I am going to add a half of a cup because remember, we're doing half of what it says to do on the box. So I have a half of a cup of boiling water in here with my powdered sugar-free Jell-O mix. Again, you can do it with regular Jell-O if you're giving this to the kids, or if you're not doing Weight Watchers, that is perfectly fine. These are yummy, yummy, yummy no matter what you're doing. And we're just going to stir that up really good. You want to make sure that all of the Jell-O powder is dissolved before you do this. This recipe is also available on IfYouHaveAnEgg.com. And after Tuesday, May the 5th, you can come and visit me here again in the showroom at KC Kitchen Center at 5902 Kingston Pike, and ask me some questions if you have them. So we're gonna get that all good and stirred in there. Okay, and now I'm gonna take a half of a cup of cold water. Gonna add that. The hot water, the boiling water, is to make sure that the Jell-O dissolves. The cold water is to cool it down so that it doesn't cook whatever you are putting it on top of. So now we have exactly 1 cup of liquid. Next, what I'm going to do is peel back the top of each one of these cups that I just did. And I'm going to pour some of the Jell-O mixture in there. I'm not going to go quite to the top. Just want to be sure and cover all the fruit. And you notice I left the plastic on there. I'll explain that in just a second. Okay, we're gonna get that in there. Gonna add just a little bit more to this one and a little bit more to this one. If I had had a 6th fruit cup, we could have made 6 of these. But what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna go ahead and cool this in the refrigerator just like it is so that I can chop it up and have some plain Jell-O later. But I left the top on these. If I'm gonna be transporting them, I will just use a little bit of Scotch tape and I'll go ahead and tape that lid back down. Or if it's kind of poking up, if it's not sitting down real well, sometimes I'll tape it back down. Because I only peeled these back halfway this time, they are sitting there. You can see that they're pretty much closed back on here. And I went ahead and used a regular size muffin tin just to stick the little cups down in so they're not gonna spill, they're not gonna flip over. They're gonna stay just like they are. Now we're gonna pop these into the refrigerator for a couple of hours, and then after a couple of hours, we will be back to see how they turned out. So stay tuned. Okay, it's been 2 hours, so let's see how this turned out. First, we have the Jell-O that was just left over in the measuring cup. So you can see it's pretty bouncy because remember I used half as much water as I should, but it is still Jell-O. So we have still made Jell-O. Let's just go ahead and take a little bite and see how it tastes. This was sugar-free lime Jell-O. It's a little thick, but it's Jell-O. Okay, and now let's do one of the fruit cups. We will do this one. So remember, these were just regular fruit cups. They're sugar-free. You do not have to use sugar-free. I'm doing sugar-free or no sugar added so that this will be 0 Weight Watchers Smart Points when we're done. If you're doing this for your kids or if you're not doing Weight Watchers, regular Jell-O is fine and regular fruit cups are fine. So this had, for these we do half the amount of water. So it's supposed to be 1 cup of boiling water and 1 cup of cold water. For a Jell-O pack that is this size, that is a 0.3 ounce, I think is what it says, but it's the small box of Jell-O. So it's supposed to be 1 and 1. We did a half a cup of boiling water and a half of a cup of cold water because this still has, even though we've drained these prior, this still has too much moisture in it to do the whole thing. So it's half and half. Okay, and now it's been in the refrigerator for 2 hours. So let's see how this turned out. So now we have a little Jell-O fruit cup. Still 0 Weight Watchers Smart Points if you use the sugar-free Jell-O and if you use the no sugar added fruit. Let's see how it is. Just like I remember it. Tastes just like I remember how my mom used to make. So here you go. We've made sugar-free Jell-O fruit cups, 0 Weight Watchers Smart Points, or again, you can, use regular Jell-O and regular fruit. But I hope you all enjoyed it, and I'll post this recipe on IfYouHaveAnEgg.com, and we'll see you next time.